Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Adam's Eats. Now today I've got a recipe for you that is both easy and impressive. This is the kind of thing you're going to make to impress a date or a loved one. And what we're going to make is moules mariniere, which is essentially just mussels cooked in white wine. And it's a cinch to make. And I suppose the hard part of this dish is doing the prep, because we really need to clean those mussels, which is what we're going to do now. So as usual, if you look down below in the description, you can get a list of what you need. And also if you press pause now, you can get a list of them there as well. So I'm going to take you over to the sink and I'll show you how to clean the mussels. Right, okay, so I've just emptied my mussels into the sink and I'm now going to add some cold water. Now the first thing you want to do is to separate the dead ones from the live ones. Now you might be lucky, they might all be live, but you might be really unlucky and they're all dead, okay? Because you don't want to eat the dead ones. So what you're looking for is to find a mussel that's open, okay, like this one here, and you just gently squeeze it, like so. And if it doesn't close, like this one, don't eat it. You want to chuck that away. But as you're checking them, you know, they don't need to snap shut really tightly, but they do need to close, because that's just a sign that they're still alive. Because if they're dead, you ain't going to want to eat them because they're nasty. So I'm going to carry on with these, make sure they're all alive, and then I'll show you the next bit. Right, so I've finished checking the mussels for any dead ones. I was quite lucky actually, only 4 of them were dead, so that's really good. So now what we need to do is to give them a good clean, and it's really, really simple. Just take a mussel. So what you want to do is just to take the back of a knife, and you'll see that they're covered in barnacles, and you just want to scrape all across the surface of the shell just to remove those barnacles. This one's quite clean actually, but just to give you an idea. Now sometimes what you'll find as well, particularly with wild mussels, is we'll have this kind of strand hair-like thing attached to it. It's called the byssus, or commonly known as the beard. Now you really want to take that off, so all you do is just grab it and it should just come off straight away. Now these are farmed mussels, so they're actually pretty clean. So I'm going to carry on, give these a good scrub, and then we'll get cooking. Right, okay, so I've finished cleaning the mussels. There they are in a bowl. They can sit to one side. And what we need to do now is to chop the shallots and the garlic, which is the base of our sauce. So I've got 2 shallots here. I've already peeled them. I'm just going to cut them in half. And you want them quite finely diced, because we're going to cook this dish quite quickly. We want to extract the maximum amount of flavour from the shallots. Slice them lengthways like that, and then down like so. Just so you get a nice fine dice. Basically until you end up with something like that. Jesus Christ. Sorry folks, getting a bit emotional with these onions. Oh, whew. Okay, so that's the shallots done. Now we're going to go with the garlic. Again, nice and fine. So that's our garlic. Next we're going to take the parsley. Got a nice big bunch here, and all I do is I just kind of squish it up into a little ball, just nice and tight, and then just take your knife and just run through it. Add that to our mixture there. And what I've got here is what they call a bouquet garni, which is basically a bunch of herbs. So I've got some thyme here, about 3 or 4 sprigs, got a nice big twig of rosemary there, and I've got about 3 small bay leaves here as well. And all I've done is just tied it up with a bit of string, and that'll go in the pot and release all its flavour. But before I do that, what I'm going to do is just take the back of my knife and just bash the rosemary and thyme a bit, and that will help release the essential oils, which will add lots of flavour. And that's it really, that's all the prep done. We can now get on and make the dish. Right, okay, so let's get cracking. Now I've got a nice deep-sided pan here. This is essential to fit all the mussels in, so get a nice sturdy steel pot like this with a lid. So I'm going to get this onto a lowish heat, and I'm going to add a nice generous chunk of butter, probably about 40 grams. That can go in like so. And as the butter starts to melt, we can go with our shallots, garlic and parsley, and also the bouquet garni as well. And you just want to cook this for a couple of minutes, just until all those flavours start to mingle together, the shallots start to soften slightly, and then we can add the mussels. Okay, so it's been about a minute. It smells really aromatic. That's a good sign that this is ready. So we can now go in with our mussels. Just pour them straight in. And then I'm going to use this slotted spoon just to kind of coat the mussels. A bit noisy, isn't it? Sorry. Okay, and then I'm going to turn the heat up just slightly, so it's kind of like a medium high, and then we're going to go in with the white wine. I'm using a Sauvignon Blanc. You can use a Muscadet, Chablis, something like that, and I've gone in there with about 300ml. Okay, give it a shake, and now what I want to do is pop the lid on, Now they're not going to take very long at all. We're talking about 5 to 7 minutes max. Once the shells have started to open, that's a good sign that they're ready. So I'm going to give these about 5 minutes and that's it. We can finish off the sauce, add a bit more parsley, and then we can tuck in. Right, so it's been 5 minutes. These puppies are done. They smell incredible. So I've taken them off the heat. I'm just going to get rid of that bouquet garni. We don't need that anymore. And I've got a warmed bowl here, and I'm going to scoop out these mussels into that bowl. And once you've done that, I'm going to turn this sauce back onto a heat. I'm going to add another generous chunk of butter. Just get that in there. Now you can add double cream. I don't think it needs it, but it's entirely up to you. And I'm just going to whisk that butter in until it melts. Okay, and once you've whisked that butter in, it's nice and melted, I'm going to add some nice fresh parsley, just for aesthetics really. And that's it, that's done. And now what we need to do is pour this all over the mussels. Right, okay, so let's grab our sauce. And then we're just going to pour that all over the mussels. Now, you want to be quite gentle with it because there's going to be sediment and stuff in the bottom from the mussels that have spat out sand and goodness knows what. So just kind of leave a little bit in the bottom and that will stop all that going into your mussels. And there it is, really simple, Moules mariniere. I'm going to go and take the thumbnail straight away because they've got to be eaten fairly quick and then we'll get stuck in. Right, here we are then, Moules mariniere. Let's tuck in and give one a try. I want to kind of get one that's got some sauce in it as well. You just got to kind of pick the meat out, just like so. Amazing. They're sweet, winey, and I know it's kind of cliche that, oh yeah, it's your taste of the sea, but it's true, you know? You get that nice fresh seafood taste. Already pre-cooked mussels can taste really kind of overly fishy, and you don't want that. Nice fresh live mussels, and I tell you what, it's a feast fit for a king, and cheap as chips. I mean, a kilo of mussels is what? Between 6 and 7 quid, and these are farmed as well, which there's nothing wrong with them. Now you can serve this however you like. I've just chosen a nice baguette, but some nice really thin French fries will go absolutely stonking with this. So yeah, there it is, Moules mariniere, easy to make and absolutely wizard. Well, there we are, hope you enjoyed it. Now if you like what you see, then please stick a like down below. Now give this recipe a go, honestly it's really simple guys. Nothing to it, cheap as chips. It's good. Anyway, that about wraps up today's video guys. Thanks again for watching, and as always, if you stick around at the end, there'll be some links to some other videos, and if you're not a subscriber, there'll be a button for that as well. And I'll see your beautiful faces next time for more tasty fun and frolics, and bye for now. Yum diddly dum, yum yum, yum 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 yum.